Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is broadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. Again, re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is January 17th, 2018, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, 2 Utah men who believe in polygamy and doomsday had sexually abused young girls after conducting secret marriages they thought were ordained by God, prosecutors said Friday. Each man believed they were married to 2 girls ages 4 through 8, one of whom was related to them, prosecutor Kevin Daniels said. The pair formed a group called Knights of the Crystal Blade and created a remote makeshift compound from shipping containers in the southern Utah desert. John Coltart, age 33, was charged this week with child sodomy about a month after police found 4 girls hidden in 50-gallon plastic water barrels and an abandoned trailer during a raid on the compound. Similar charges are coming against Samuel Schaefer, age 34, Daniels said. Authorities say they are still investigating the case and the full extent of the abuse. Attorneys for the 2 men didn't immediately return calls seeking comment. Both were charged last month with child kidnapping and other counts following the December raid about 275 miles south of Salt Lake City. Sheriff's deputies descended on the area with helicopters and dogs after the mother of 2 of the girls reported them missing along with 2 of her sons. The boys were found in the makeshift compound, but it took police another day to find the girls because Schaefer had hidden them in the barrels and trailer, authorities said. The girls were found after he was arrested and revealed their locations, police said. The children were treated for the effects of cold and symptoms of dehydration and are said to be recovering. Schaefer and Coltart were friends who bonded over a shared interest in arcane Mormon ideas long abandoned by the mainstream church, police have said.
Great news! Rico is getting bus service to Telluride, making the bedroom community a real opportunity for growth in Rico. Reported in the Journal, new bus service from Rico to Telluride is expected to begin this month, reported Rico Town Manager Carrie DiStefano. The round-trip shuttle will run Monday through Friday, leaving Rico at 6:50 a.m. in front of the Enterprise Grill and arriving in downtown Telluride at 8 a.m. It then leaves for Rico at 5:30 p.m. There is a real need for the service because a lot of our residents work in Telluride, DiStefano said. One-way bus fare is $3 or $2 with purchase of a 10-day pass for $20. Passes can be purchased at Rico Town Hall at 2 North Short Street. The shuttle has room for 10 passengers and ski gear. The service is being provided by the San Miguel Authority for Regional Transportation, in part to improve the Telluride employee housing crunch. Telski, which operates the Telluride ski area, relies on Rico and Norwood for affordable housing. It recently purchased the Rico Hotel for employee housing, which accommodates about 20 workers. There's already a Norwood to Telluride bus service, and it is well used. In a side note, the inaugural Rico Winter Carnival will take place January 27th through the 28th. The event at Rico Town Park features an ice hockey tournament, snow bike tours, cross-country ski lessons, and a community potluck. Adults and children are all welcome. The friendly hockey tournament is at 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, followed by the championship game at 4 p.m. on Sunday. On Saturday, the snow bike tour starts at 2 p.m. with a few loaner bikes available. The potluck starts at 5 p.m. Saturday. Bring a chili dish to share. Toppings and sides will be provided, and the Rico Trails Alliance will provide beer. On Sunday, cross-country ski tour and lessons begin at 11 a.m. It's an effort to do something fun and is a cure for cabin fever, DiStefano said of the new carnival. Lots happening up in Rico. For more information and to register your hockey team, call Carrie at 970-967-2863 or email her at townmanager@ricocolorado.gov. And for a schedule of events, visit ricocolorado.gov and click on the Parks and Recreation Trails.
According to the Cortez Journal, Montezuma County District Court Judge Todd Plew has denied a request to reduce bond in a Cortez murder case after the suspect's court-ordered mental health treatment was delayed. Cortez resident Jeremiah Damron, who faces a first-degree murder charge in the death of his mother, was ruled mentally incompetent to stand trial in October. The court ordered him to undergo treatment at the Colorado Mental Health Institute Pueblo, requesting that the state transfer him there before January 16th. But at a status conference on Tuesday, Plouffe said the institute asked that the order be delayed until late March. Plouffe denied a request from Dameron's defense attorney, Paul Warren, that his bond be reduced so he could get mental health treatment locally. During the hearing, Warren argued that Dameron's incarceration at the Montezuma County Detention Center, where he has remained since his arrest in July, is detrimental to his health. He said Dameron had been placed in solitary confinement at least once and had lost weight during his time in jail. The state's delay in fulfilling the court order, he said, could be interpreted as contempt. District Attorney Will First, the prosecuting attorney, said he agreed with Warren's concerns, but didn't believe they amounted to a reason to reduce Dameron's bond, which was set at $500,000 after his arrest. He said the defense had not shown why it would be safe for a mentally unstable man accused of a violent crime to be released to the public. Plouffe immediately ultimately sided with First on the issue, but he said he would ask the institute to report to him by February 9th to set a date when Dameron could be transferred to the Pueblo facility instead of March 29th as the letter had requested. I understand the frustrations of the defendant and I share them, Plouffe said. However, my job as a judge is to make sure we have adequately reviewed this case. He said the defense might be able to pursue civil action against the institute, but he said that would be another case in front of another judge.
As we reported last week, there were over 200 people in attendance for the La Plata Land Use Code meeting, a record number overflowing the venue, but Tuesday night's Land Use Code meeting drew more than 1,000 residents. A clear indication things aren't settling well with residents. Reported in the Durango Herald, La Plata County's proposed Land Use Code was shown no love Tuesday night, as well over 1,000 people showed up to lambast the codes as an example of government overreach and an infringement on property rights. They say the devil is in the details, said Bayfield resident John Fossil. Well, there are some nasty details in this document. Within the past few months, La Plata County has released a draft of proposed land use codes that haven't been updated since the 1980s, that county officials say will provide more predictability to landowners and developers on what they can and cannot do with their land. As a result, county officials say the codes will in turn speed up and make cheaper the development process, which can lead to an increase in growth and expand the economy. However, certain members of La Plata County's ranching and farming community have opposed the idea of land use codes since the beginning, calling them unnecessary and an attempt to covertly take their land. On Tuesday, more than 1,000 people packing into the La Plata County Fairgrounds for the public forum with county commissioners and staff on hand. Fossil went on to call the land use codes an extreme example of, quote, big brotherism, branded socialism, and a blatant taking of property rights. There were a number of specific issues county residents brought up with the land use codes. For one, the codes place some restrictions within a river corridor and scenic overlay along certain roadways that county officials say aim to protect the scenic quality of the county. Animas Valley rancher Ed Zink, however, said his property is surrounded by both and the restrictions go too far. I'd have nothing left, he said. Zink did commend the proposed land use codes for protecting irrigation ditches from the impact of new development. Other county residents took issue with the draft codes for the restrictions they place on temporary storage units. This is an extreme overreach on property rights, said May Morley, a fifth-generation La Plata County rancher. This is based on controlling the appearance of other people's private property, and we don't see our land as open space, we see it as part of our business. Don't tie our hands and decrease the value of our land. Animas Valley rancher Sandy Young said the land use codes are an attempt to streamline development and protect scenic corridors to increase tourism, so more people, quote, see this beautiful landscape and want to move here. There's not one word about small-scale agriculture, of which I am one, Young said. Durango is city enough, keep it simple. Tony Gonzarela, who said he's been working in the Animas Valley for nearly 50 years, said the county doesn't need to adopt a huge document with the intent of protecting the rural quality and landscape of the area. Quote, for the last 100 plus years, it's been farmers and ranchers maintaining these properties. He said, all the things you come to appreciate that you think you need to protect. This portion of the land use code is the first of 3 modules. This part of the code that's been in question the past few months deals specifically with land use. The county has said it hopes to adopt this version with necessary revisions by the fall of 2018. One county resident likened the land use codes as an extension of Agenda 21, a more than 20-year-old United Nations document that encourages sustainable growth. That's been changed to called Agenda 2030, by the way. Some people allege the document is a covert plan for the government to take control of their land and gun rights. The sooner we get the United Nations out of La Plata County and Durango in Colorado, right now it's the time to do it, the residents said. County officials say the current land use codes are a constant source of issues for staff. The reason this code is being revised right now, said Commissioner Julie Westendorf, this is our #1 source of complaint. There are 64 counties in Colorado, said Planning Director Jason Meininger, and La Plata County is only one of 4 that doesn't have zoning. The others are Washington, Baca, and Kiowa counties. And an aside that Dolores County also doesn't have zoning, as we are primarily agriculturally based. We do have a land use code book though. The county has said it will review a number of issues brought up during public comment when drafting a final version of the code. Commissioner Brad Blake said the public process will aim to fix many, quote, missteps in the first draft.
According to the Cortez Journal, students at Navajo Preparatory School researching the lasting impacts of the 2015 Gold King mine spill have won $10,000 for their work. The Farmington Daily Times reports 7 sophomores and juniors in a gifted and talented program at the school entered the Lexus Eco Challenge with a project that involved testing green onion roots for iron and zinc after they had been submerged into the Animas River. The work won them $8,000 in scholarships and $2,000 for school equipment. They now are competing in a second phase of the competition. More than 2 years ago, the EPA accidentally released 3 million gallons of mustard-colored water from southwestern Colorado's Gold King mine into the Animas River, in case you didn't hear. The spill tainted water in 3 states as well as the Navajo Nation. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Map forecast here, presented by NOAA, indicates the high-pressure system dominating most of the country, with some rain and snow mix in the Pacific Northwest, and the big story of the East Coast snows still lingering in the southeast and up the coastline. In some places, just dropping a couple of inches, but for states unfamiliar to even a little snow or ice, we have seen lots of closures and the all-too-familiar bread and milk flying off the store shelves. That system should move off the coast by the weekend. Regionally, we do now have a hazardous weather outlook for eastern Utah and western Colorado. A weak disturbance will bring isolated light snow showers over the highest peaks of the northern mountains today. And then the weekend outlook shows a strong storm is possible Friday through Sunday with a chance of valley rain and mountain snow Friday, and then a chance of snowfall at all elevations Friday night through Sunday. Right now, the new mapping the National Weather Service is trying out shows our Dolores County corner having a 70% chance of exceeding a quarter-inch liquid equivalent of snow, but not until Saturday into Sunday. Meanwhile, dry and above normal temperatures will last until the weekend. And then the local 5-day outlook from DCTV shows the following. Today is sunny with a high near 42, north-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, and tonight clear with a low around 23, north winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday, sunny with a high near 48, east-northeast winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 27, south-southeast winds around 5. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 51, south winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, and Friday night, a chance of rain showers before midnight, then a chance of rain and snow showers between midnight and 2 a.m., and then a chance of snow showers after 2 a.m., but mostly cloudy with a low around 32 degrees, so the chance of precipitation on Friday is still lingering at around 30%. Saturday, snow showers are then likely, mainly after 11 a.m., mostly cloudy with a high near 42 degrees. Chance of precipitation is 60%. Saturday night, a chance of snow showers arise with mostly cloudy skies and a low down to 21. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 37. Sunday night, mostly clear and a low around 19. Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 40. And Monday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 21 degrees. And now, back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, from gritty neighborhoods in New York and Los Angeles to clinics in Kenya and Brazil, health workers are trying to popularize a pill that has proven highly effective in preventing HIV, but which, in their view, remains woefully underused. Marketed in the United States as Truvada and sometimes available abroad in generic versions, the pill has been shown to reduce the risk of getting HIV from sex by more than 90% if taken daily. Yet, worldwide, only about a dozen countries have aggressive government-backed programs to promote the pill. In the U.S., there are problems related to Truvada's high cost, lingering skepticism among some doctors, and low usage rates among black gays and bisexuals who have the highest rates of HIV infection. Truvada works, said James Krellenstein, a New York-based activist. We have to start thinking of it not as a luxury, but as an essential public health component of this nation's response to HIV, he said. A few large U.S. cities are promoting Truvada, often with sexually charged ads. In New York, "Bear It All" was among the slogans urging gay men to consult their doctors. The Los Angeles LGBT Center, using what it called raw, real language, launched a campaign to increase use among young Latino and black gay men and transgender women. We've got the tools to not only end the fear of HIV, but to end it as an epidemic, said Center's Chief of Staff, Daryl Cummings. Those at risk have to know about the tools, though, and they need honest information about them. In New York, roughly 30% of gay and bisexual men are using Truvada now, up dramatically from a few years ago, according to Dr. Dimitri Daskalakis, a deputy commissioner of the city's health department. However, Daskalakis said use among young black and Hispanic men, who account for a majority of new HIV diagnoses, lags behind. To address that, the city is making Truvada readily available in some clinics in or near heavily black and Hispanic neighborhoods.
Gates on Road 41 in Weber Canyon will remain open, as reported in the Journal. For years, there have been 3 unlocked gates across Road 41 in Weber Canyon, south of Mancos. But Montezuma County has ruled the gates are not authorized because they cross a public road. At the county's prompting, one of the gates was removed by the landowner and the other 2 were secured open, said County Road Supervisor Rob Engelhardt. They are used to hold cattle, but the landowners must install cattle guards instead, he said. Locals have long known to drive through and close the gates to access private and public Bureau of Land Management land. The section of road used to be a rough 2-track Jeep road, but has since been improved by local residents and the county as more people use it to access subdivisions. The issue was brought to the forefront by a report from a disabled veteran who was blocked by one of the gates and was unable to open it. The landowners have been cooperative about keeping the gates open now, Engelhardt said. Another issue for the area are smartphone GPS map applications that direct tourists to Mesa Verde National Park via Road 41. Homeowners in Weber Canyon have been informing the wayward travelers that the road is not a legal access point to the nearby park and have installed a sign as well. Road 41 does provide access to the Weber Mountain and Manistee Mountain Wilderness study areas. Those BLM lands are open to hiking and horseback riding.
Reported by the Durango Herald, La Plata County Commissioners on Tuesday approved a shooting range and gun safety school despite some concerns from nearby residents over noise and safety. La Plata County resident Tim Gwen received a Class II land use permit for the Red Dawn Shooting Range and Wolverine School of Personal Safety, which is located on about 40 acres off County Road 307 near the Durango-La Plata County Airport. About 4 years ago, Gwen started operating the shooting range and instruction school without first acquiring a Class II permit with the county. He told commissioners he was under the impression county code did not call for his business to have a permit. Within the last year or so, neighbors in the area alerted the county's code enforcement department of the business, adding complaints about noise from the firearms as well as the possibility of ricocheting bullets. The complaint sparked the need for Gwen to acquire the Class II permit. Over the past year, Gwen hired third parties to conduct reviews for the permit, such as an environmental compliance analysis. County staff, too, visited the property to assess sound levels, which do not exceed state standards that are used by the county. Gwen has said bullets won't be picked up regularly, but promised to conduct regular soil sampling for lead. With the absence of zoning in the county, County Planner Dan Murphy said the proposed business meets compatibility standards in place. The shooting range will feature a one-way 110-yard firing range and shoot house, with a few additional structures. The property is surrounded by large berms and natural topography, which reduces noise and the risk of ricochet, Gwen said. Hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. during the week and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. during weekends. If a special event is to be held outside those hours, Gwen must notify nearby neighbors according to conditions of the Class II permit.
Reported in the Durango Herald, a 77-year-old part-time Durango resident suspected of veering off North Main Avenue and killing 2 pedestrians last year is scheduled for trial in April after pleading not guilty Tuesday in La Plata County Combined Courts. Bobby Lehman, who lives in LaGrange, Texas, and has a vacation home near Hermosa, was charged with 2 counts of careless driving resulting in death. A 2-day trial is scheduled for 8 a.m. April 26. This case has been pending a long time, said Durango lawyer Joel Fry, representing Lehman. This is a very serious case. Lehman is suspected of driving north on Main Avenue about 4 p.m. March 18, 2017, when his Chevrolet Suburban jumped the curb near the Royal Motel in the 2000 block of Main Avenue and hit 2 pedestrians. 2 people died, Alan Duke, 23, a Fort Lewis college student, and Marco Ricci, 46, who was visiting Durango from Italy. After an investigation that took into account blood tests, medical exams, and a review of Lehman's cell phone and vehicle computers, Lehman was charged in April 2017 with 2 counts of careless driving resulting in death. Lehman suffered only minor scrapes and bruises and told authorities he did not remember the crash. Medics at the scene cleared Lehman, and doctors at Mercy Regional Medical Center were unable to find anything that would explain the crash. Lehman told police he was in town running errands and stopped at Lady Falkenberg's for soup and a 12-ounce beer. A blood test taken nearly 2 hours after the crash found no drugs and only trace amount of alcohol at 0.01 compared with a 0.08 driving limit in Colorado. Investigators also found Lehman displayed normal driving behavior before the crash, traveling 32 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Duke, who was studying accounting at FLC, was 5 weeks away from graduation. He was walking to work at the Adobe Inn when he was struck by the vehicle. He was originally from Parker, Colorado. And Ricci, who lived in Latina, Italy, was on a tour of the American Southwest, having stopped at the Grand Canyon, Valley of the Gods, and Monument Valley. He was training to run a marathon.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of January 8th through the 14th. A Mancos citizen requested a welfare check for a Squaw Point resident. The resident was able to be contacted by deputies and was fined. A town business reported finding a wallet accidentally left by a patron. Cortez Dispatch and Colorado State Patrol were notified in an attempt to locate the wallet owner's vehicle. The Dove Creek Volunteer Fire Department was dispatched to County Road 7.7 for a large manure pile fire. The pile of horse manure spontaneously combusted due to heat generated during the decomposition process. The fire was able to be brought under control after several hours. Dolores County Sheriff's Office and Colorado State Patrol responded to a tractor-trailer versus pickup accident occurred on Highway 491 at the trailer park. The tractor-trailer driver was not injured, and the driver of the pickup was transported to the hospital and released. Sheriff's deputies performed several courtesy rides for local residents during the last week. A county resident reported they were missing 2 black and white border collies. The dogs returned home a few hours later. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings, Friday, January 19th, the Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce is hosting a business owners and town candidates open forum from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the new Public Service Center off Road 7.6. 7.7. This is an opportunity to provide businesses with a platform to discuss topics relevant to economic growth with the potential new or to be re-elected candidates, and for candidates to provide their platforms. The deadline for submitting a petition to run for a position is Monday, January 22nd. All info can be found at the town offices. A second business owners and candidate forum with the finalized candidate will be held in March prior to the April election if there is interest. To RSVP or email or text business-related suggestions or ideas for a better economic future in Dove Creek, contact the DC Chamber of Commerce manager at dovecreekchamber.com or call 970-560-2856. And today, January 17th, find adventure-based comedy at the Mancos Brewing Company from 6 to 9 p.m. tonight. Monte Montepare is a comedian and mountain guide raised in Breckenridge, Colorado. For the last decade, he's been living in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, taking people on the adventures of a lifetime. He's a Moth Grand Slam winner and is headlining at the Ouray Ice Festival this January. Monte is a high-energy storyteller with tales from the big mountains of Alaska to the bouldering gems of LA. January 19th, the Queen of Hearts is hosted by the Durango, Colorado Elks Lodge. From 7 to 7:15, the jackpot is growing and is just under $3,000. Tickets are only $1 each. Will you be their next lucky winner? You can't win if you don't play. For more details, visit the Elks Lodge on Facebook or call them at 970-247-2296. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather and original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, email us at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Wednesday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.